But it's not just about the money. It's also about sometimes regulatory roadblocks that we have in place that make it harder for people to be able to get goods delivered. And so, Mr. Dellinger, as I shift to you, and I'm thinking about some of those really safe drivers we have who might be younger than 21, Congress has, in a couple of instances in recent years, had pilot projects where we want to try to make it easier for those young drivers to move from one state to the other. We know that 49 states and the District of Columbia allow CDLs for people who are younger than 21, and yet we don't allow nationally, outside of pilot programs, for younger drivers to be able to cross state lines. Mr. Dellinger, teach us a little bit. Is there any evidence that suggests an otherwise safe 20-year-old driver shouldn't be able to cross state lines and have that CDL be effective?
Well, as you mentioned, 49 states do recognize intra-state driving for under 21. I mentioned earlier that the pilot program was a bit flawed to begin with, and it got a late start, and a lot of carriers did not jump on board because of the confusion that existed early on. That program sunsets in November this year, and so basically, we do need something to be more on a permanent basis, and I think the Drive Safe Act that maybe was introduced in the 118th may need to be reintroduced and looked at as well. So, but I think, looking at the current program, there were not a lot of participants. I think it allowed for 3,000. I think it was maybe 3 dozen in the program. So definitely needs to be relooked at more on a permanent, not just a pilot program.
Well, and you'll correct me if I'm wrong, but my understanding is that the data we have with these drivers at the state level, again, they're able to drive in 49 states in the district, is that these can be really safe drivers. They don't create some sort of wildly disproportionate impact on surface transportation safety. Is that your understanding as well?
Yes, and when we look at our industry, we're typically bringing people in that are second and third careers. And if we were able to bring someone in and be their first career and train them in a safe manner, where before they got habits that were not conducive to our industry. So.
Mr. Chairman, I would just note that this should be an area where we all come to an agreement that if you're a safe driver and you're able to, it's amazing. Somebody can drive from Rapid City, South Dakota to Sioux Falls, South Dakota for, I don't know what that would be, maybe 300 miles. But they can't go from North Sioux City, South Dakota to Sioux City, Iowa, just a few miles. It doesn't really make any sense. It creates all of these unnecessary barriers, federal government created barriers. Let's try to work together so that we can drive down the costs of operation. We can create outstanding careers for safe young drivers. So absolutely, it can be their first career.